Welcome back, everyone, to our Making It Fun career mode series in NASCAR Heat 3. So we're coming off of an absolutely great race at Richmond where we pulled off the victory. Now that victory does a couple of things. First and foremost, it moves us on to round number 2 in the playoffs, the round of 8. So that is huge for us automatically. It also gives us some more playoff points to use as we move forward, and hopefully will help us in our quest to make it to the Final Four at Homestead with a shot at the championship. So what we're going to be doing first is we're going to work our way up until round 2 of the playoffs begins, and we'll continue to accumulate money because our ultimate goal, aside from the championship, is to get at least one more upgrade into the Xfinity cars before the end of the season. So we want to upgrade our aerodynamics one more time, if at all possible. You can see at the top of the screen we have $386,581. And let's go ahead and click on next race and get started with this truck series race and get our money from that. Okay, so we're going to do our Speedway chassis. And oops, nothing to do there. Nothing to do on aero or suspension. All right, so coming up after Vegas, which is a speedway, then we go to Talladega, which is a super speedway. So we'll go ahead and just use our other speedway chassis for that, since we're going to incur a penalty anyway. Okay, and then after that we go to Martinsville, a short track. So let's go ahead, let's see, suspension and aero are our 2 areas. That'll get everybody with some work to do. And now we'll have in bay number 1, 90, 95, and 90 on that Speedway chassis. That is perfect. Let's come back out, simulate that race. Let's see what we get. All right, 17th, $37,000 more dollars. We will certainly take that. Okay, we also got our contract payout. Very nice. We'll take it. All right, so we know kind of what's going on here. Apparently, we had some issues during the race, and these guys aren't terribly happy, but we'll apologize, and that'll make everything okay. So now it's time to run the Xfinity race, and of course, it's our race number 2 in round 1. We're going to go ahead and simulate this one as well as the third race in this round so that we can get on to round number 2 and focus on actually getting ourselves into the Final Four. All right, so let's get all of these guys busy. Let's see, Speedway. All right, all of this looks good. That'll get everybody working. Start that work plan. And so 95, 85, and 90. And our ultimate goal here for this season is 95, 90, and 90. So that's what we're shooting for. But we got a little bit of money to make before we can get that done. So we're going to simulate this race. And of course, we don't have a road course chassis, so we're just going to have to take what we can get here. And we'll take our first Speedway chassis, and we'll get, 31st, yikes. The good news is this is a very high-paying race, so we made almost $151,000, and then we got just over 1,500 fans, but it would have been nice if we could have got a little bit higher up. But that's okay. Based on the car we had, we'll certainly take it. All right, we've got a message from Alex LeBay.
You really gave it your all today, but it just wasn't your day.
Wow, what a message. All right, so let's run through some of these. Again, as I've mentioned before, I am not a fan of this feedback when we're simulating races. I think it'd just be better served just to skip over the feedback, the Twitter feedback, whenever you're simulating races. All right, so let's see. Well, we're not going to be able to get top 10s or 15s whenever we're simulating, so top 22s will be our best bet. And let's adjust that work plan. So we're going to be dealing with Dover. And then after that, our next 3 races, the round of 8, will be Kansas, Texas, and ISM or Phoenix. So I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully we can pick up either a victory or enough points to move on to Homestead. So let's go ahead and prepare our car for Dover. And then let's see. Oh, we're already done on aero as well as suspension, actually. So let's go back up to our Speedway chassis and we'll get it prepared for Kansas. And then, just so that we keep everybody working, we'll go ahead and get started on the aero and suspension on a short track chassis, which won't be used until Phoenix in a few weeks. All right, we'll get that work started. And once again, 95, 85, and 90 in bay number 2. That's the chassis we'll be using to simulate Dover. There we go. And okay, we've advanced to the round of 8. Of course, we already knew that. We had a guaranteed spot by virtue of our victory at Richmond. So we placed 30th here. Wow. 30th position, $62,686 and 1,500 fans. So we're closing in on 80,000 fans. Oh, we got a few more messages. I tell you what, I'm just going to skip by those. And let's see. Looks like everything is pretty good. No, there's BJ McLeod. Love that hair, by the way. No, there's our negative feedback. Okay. So we'll move on and skip those couple of videos. I'm sure it was something related to making it to that round of 8. Okay, we'll set up our incentive contract for the final 5 races of the season. And once again, we're going to go top 20s. It'd be nice if we could get higher than that, but not when we're simulating. At least not with the strength of car and truck we're using right now. All right, so suspension, we'll go there. Let's see, Chris Allen on aero. Andrew on engine. And then we go to the short track where we'll get Jillian, Harrison, and Stella busy working on it. All right, so we're going to have another mismatch penalty here for Talladega. And let's see what it's going to amount to. Okay, so a -10. Put us down into the low 80s. 24th place. Okay, we'll take it. Almost $24,000. All right, these guys. We're going to go ahead and apologize to these guys just to make sure that we don't ignore them and start making some of these folks mad with all of this negative feedback we're getting from week to week. All right, but you can see our money steadily climbing week after week. We now sit at $688,000. We'll go ahead and prepare our car for Kansas. But before we do that, let's actually come back out and go to season status. And let's take a look at the playoff grid. Now, this is where it's very important for us to get as many stage points. And of course, if we can get a victory, that's even better. We've got 3 races in the round of 8, Kansas, Texas, and Phoenix or ISM Speedway. And we're starting out 4 points out of 4th position, that final transfer spot. And really nobody is in a great position. Elliott Sadler is only 13 points ahead, and one bad finish will take care of that. Same thing on the other end of the spectrum. Ross Chastain is only 12 points out. So stage points can be a huge boost or a big help or hurt, as the case may be. So we're sitting 4 points out right now. Now let's come back and prepare for our next race, which will be at Kansas. Let's adjust our work plan. And let's see, this Speedway chassis in bay number 1 is the one we want. So we'll go ahead and get these guys busy working on it. Then after that, we'll be going to Texas. And we'll get everything lined up there, and that takes care of all of our employees. Let's go ahead and start our work plan. You can see 95, 85, and 90 on the Speedway chassis. And just as a reminder, what we're looking to do is 600,000 right here. I actually thought it was more than that. I forgot. I was thinking it was 900,000 that we needed. So we can actually go ahead and purchase this now. And now it makes me wish that I wouldn't have gone ahead and done the work plan. But we're going to go ahead and do this. That's no big deal. Hey, make mistakes, move on. So from this point forward, we'll be able to get to 95, 90, and 90. But if we come back under improve equipment, getting from 90 to 95 is 1.2 million, regardless of which one of the options, aero or suspension, we use. So that, I would imagine, is going to be out of our reach, but that's okay. At this point, we've got what we wanted, or at least as much as I didn't make mistakes for, and we're ready to head to Kansas. All right, folks, it is race time here at Kansas. We'll be starting just outside the top 20 in 21st. Hopefully we'll get to start. Nope, we're going to start on the outside. Okay, that's not terrible because we can certainly use the outside at this track. In fact, it might even be preferable for us at the beginning. So here we go. Let's see what we can get here at the start of the race. Again, we'll be running 3 stages, and it looks like the first stage is going to be 10 laps in length.
Hold your line, stay up high, still there.
Wow, these guys did not get through turns 1 and 2 well at all.
Careful now, still there. All right, now you're clear.
We're going to try to motor on this outside for a little bit and see what we've got. See how much speed we've got for these guys in race trim.
Careful, still there. Still there.
Oh, look out. Okay. 15 apparently didn't know we were there.
Careful, still there.
All right, but no harm, no foul. Thankfully, damage doesn't do a whole lot in this game. So we'll keep motoring right on through.
Hold your line, you got one inside. Hold your line. Bottom lane's clear, bottom lane is clear.
All right, we'll try to get down here on this bottom a little bit. See what we can do. Just outside of the top 10 now, with plenty of laps left to go in this stage to try to make up a few more spots. All right, once again, we'll try to use this high side.
Careful, still there.
And there we go. So we made the pass and we're clear. All right, so we need to pass at least one more car, and preferably more than that. We're coming up on halfway through. All right, we're definitely gaining on these guys, so that's a good sign. And of course, the other good part of this is as we get started in stage number 2, we'll already be a lot closer to the front than we were at the start of the race. So stage 2 gives us an even better opportunity to earn stage points. All right, we're going to try to go to the outside of Reddick.
Still there.
Let's see if we can clear him. No, it looks like he's going to have plenty of speed through 3 and 4 on the bottom.
Careful, still there.
All right, let's try him through 1 and 2 on the high side the entire way through the corner. I was actually tucked in behind him for a while.
Careful now, still there.
Yeah, there we go. Looks like we're a good bit faster than him through turns 1 and 2. All right, that gets us into the top 10. Of course, I'm sure we've got several of our playoff competitors here in front of us. And it's quite possible that all of them are in front of us at this point. Oh, looks like we got a log jam here at the front of the field, as we're running 2x2. This ought to make for some interesting racing. We're going to try this high side a little bit. We've been faster than these guys through turns 1 and 2. Let's see if that still holds true with 2 laps to go. It certainly appears to.
Still there.
Now turns 3 and 4, we've basically been breaking even at best through here, so I'm not sure if the high side is going to give us a lot of benefit through here. But maybe it'll help us out a little bit.
Careful, still there. Last lap, this time up.
All right, final lap here in the first stage. See if we can make up some passes here. 1 and 2 is definitely our bread and butter. And yes, we were able to get quite a bit.
Careful now, still there. Top 10 now.
All right, so not only do we get into the points, but we got to 6th position, which is going to give us 5 bonus points. And no need to pit here. So we'll continue on and advance to that next green flag.
Pace car is off, coming to the green. Be ready. Got one down low now, got one down low, inside.
All right, so once again, we're going to try to motor on this outside.
Stay high.
These guys are going to come back on us. Ouch. They're going to come back on us here as we get up to speed, but that is perfectly okay,
Car there's on your inside.
because we got something for them once we get up to speed.
Hold your line, stay up high, stay high, still there. Got one down low now.
You can see these guys are just killing us on the straightaway, but that's okay. Turns 1 and 2, we return the favor.
It's all yours, bud. You're clear. Awesome.
All right, now we're not going to be able to get down to the bottom.
Still there.
So we're going to try to run this second groove here, and hopefully we won't lose as much time. It'll enable us to stay in the draft,
Still there.
since we don't have to worry about arrow push.
Inside.
Then we'll get down here to turn 1 and 2.
Still there.
Woo, big block there from John Hunter on us, as he slid it all the way up to the wall on exit to get in front of us.
Still there.
Wow, I did not intend to get to the outside of John Hunter there. That was not the plan.
Careful. Still there. Got one down low now. Got one down low. Inside. The car there's on your inside. Inside. Careful. Still there.
All right, so we should make this pass
Slow is clear.
coming off of turn 2, and sure enough, I believe we're in good shape. Once again, still can't get down to the bottom. All right, let's see what we can do through turns 1 and 2. And once again, we are able to make up some nice ground on them. So it looks like we might be able to get to the top 5. We'll have to see how that works out, but looks like we might have enough speed. All right, let's tuck in behind. We'll try to stay in the draft until we get to turns 1 and 2. Look at that. They just pull well away from us. We'll get up here on this high side. Try to get as much momentum as we can. And then hopefully pull to the inside. Ooh, look out.
Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here.
All right, you can see the 4 car is going to have no trouble going right back by us. All right, so once again, we find ourselves in 6th position. We'll stay down to the bottom for now. Follow these guys around and hopefully get another run on them. You can see the top 4 are all one after another. So nobody's really getting away. We're keeping pace with these guys. We just don't quite have enough to get by them at this stage.
A couple more turns. 2 more. 2 to go.
All right, you can see the 7 car is to our inside. I just can't hang with him on the straightaway, so we'll have to try to outrun him in the corners and maintain our position that way. All right, so coming to the white flag here in stage 2. Once again, we find ourselves in 6th position. And I can see Allgaier coming. That's okay because we're going to run that second groove anyway. So he can have the bottom. All right, so there we go. Looks like this is how we're going to end stage number 2 once again in 6th position. So we're getting those stage points, those ever important stage points. And I did see some of our competitors that were outside the top 10. So they did not get any points. So we're making up a few points here and there. Overall, who knows? Because I'm not sure exactly who is in front of us and where they are in the points. But once again, we will not be pitting. We're going to advance on, and we should be about halfway through the race at this point.
We're going green this time. Be ready.
So, mission accomplished in the first 2 stages of the race, since we got several stage points.
Still there.
All right, once again, these guys are going to be able to be quite a bit faster than us getting up to speed. And once again, we need somebody to get out and push on the straightaways to give us a little extra boost. All right, so we're still in 6th position. Oh, look out, Tift. Thought he was going to the low side, and then he changed his mind and decided to come up the track on me. So we nearly had some contact there, but no harm, no foul.
Still there.
Okay, once again, he decides he's going to go up there. I know the feeling, been there, done that. All right, let's kind of try to get a draft here and then see what we can do with him through turns 1 and 2. Okay, I believe we're going to clear him there. So that moves us up into 5th for the time being. So now I'm just going to start trying some things. We got plenty of laps left in this race. And what I mean by trying things is trying some different lines, some different points to get on and off the throttle, all those sorts of things.
Inside, inside. All right, now you're clear.
Yeah, we are definitely faster than these guys through turns 1 and 2. Because I ran up on Christopher Bell very quickly.
Still there. Careful, still there.
All right, we're going to get crushed on corner exit here down the straightaway.
Inside, inside.
Let's just stick our hand out the window and wave them all by as they come by.
Still there.
All right, we managed to hold these guys off with a strong 1 and 2 for now.
Got one down low now. Got one down low. Inside.
If we could get just a little bit of drafting help up here on the top, that would help us out tremendously on the straights.
Careful now. Still there. Got one down low now. Got one down low. Inside.
I mean, look at that speed going through the corner. That's no lifting,
Careful now. Still there.
and we get a nice run on them. We'll have to lift here in turn 4. Okay, quite a bit there, as Kaz Gralla got really slow mid-corner.
20 laps to go. Not that long. Inside, inside.
All right, so another great run through turns 1 and 2.
Still there. Clear all around. Hold your line. You got one inside. Hold your line.
All right, we got a little love tap from somebody there,
One inside. Hold your line.
trying to move us up and out of the way.
Careful. Still there.
So at this point, our biggest problem is we're sort of stuck on this outside. If we get down on the bottom, we lose our advantage in turns 1 and 2.
Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here.
But we would be better off on the bottom in 3 and 4. And then, of course, we lose everything down the straightaway.
Stay high. Still there. Inside,
So we're all
inside,
running right here
inside.
together. Looks like Justin Allgaier back there behind us has sort of lost touch and doesn't quite have the speed to keep up with us.
Stay high. Stay high. Still there. Still there.
All right, let's see if we can get a draft off of Cole Custer. Maybe he can pull us along at least a little bit. Nope, he's going to pull back in line, or at least momentarily.
Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here.
All right, we should be right with Cole Custer coming off the corner.
Inside. All right, now you're clear.
All right, we're going to try to get back down to this bottom. Nope,
Careful now.
wasn't going to happen.
Hold your line.
It was a little bit too close. From ouch. Really? Okay. All right, still no caution. Wow. There we go. Caution flag is out. We're not going to be pitting. 16 laps to go. We might run out of tire here, or at least we should, with all of this fighting. But with as many cars as there are on the lead lap,
All right, coming to the green.
we would have a real hard time coming into the pit.
Hammer time. Let's go. Outside.
All right, so these guys tried real hard to put us out right there.
Still
We played pinball a little bit.
car there is on the outside. Outside.
But we'll make it through.
Still there.
We're still in the top 5 for now. Let's see what happens as we get up to speed here.
Stay low.
So we really didn't
Still there.
end up losing anything.
Hang tight there, driver. Hold this line here. Clear all around. car there is on the outside.
All right, so we got a car to our outside.
Top lane 3, you're using it if you need it. Top lane 3.
All right, there we go. So I think we're all clear now. Let's see if we can focus on trying to make up some more positions here in the coming laps. Looks like we got about 12 laps to go.
Inside,
And nope,
inside.
Cole Custer is going to have a great run through 3 and 4. We're just a little bit too tight. Looks like I snugged the car up a little too much before the race started. And we just don't have the speed to hold these guys off. But we're still in the top 5, so it's not like all is lost. We're still having a great race. And it's also frustrating because you can see the leader right there in front of you. And also you see these guys who are just crushing you on the straightaway.
Inside. Clear all around.
We'll be able to help that a little bit with our increased aero. Of course, it would have been nice to have some of that increase here as well. Just look at that run. Wow, that is a tremendous run these guys get off the corner. And sure, hey, Ryan Priest is just going to come from a mile back, and he's going to beat our inside.
Clear low. Clear low.
All right, so we're inside of 10 laps to go in the event. So far, so good. We'd like to be a little farther forward, but we're going to get everything we can get. Look at that, just a huge run on us. All right, so these guys are managing to pull away from us in the top 5 a little bit, leaving us to fight with, I believe that's Ryan Priest behind us. All right, 7 more laps.
Inside. Inside. Bottom lane clear. Use it if you need it.
So Ryan Priest, if he could get through turns 1 and 2 better, they would be blowing us away. Because in 3 and 4, and also on both straights, they're already killing us. And once again, you can see him coming up very quickly to our inside.
Bottom lane clear. Bottom lane is clear.
All right, he held in there a little bit better that time. That is not good news for us. Just way too tight coming off the exit of 4.
5 to go. You got this. Got one down low now. Got one down low. Inside. All right, now you're clear.
Oh, that engine sound is just horrible. Engine struggling so badly coming off the corner.
Inside.
So you can see there's several cars lined up behind us at this point. And each and every one of them would love nothing more than to come right up and take this spot away from us. But we're going to try to hold them off as best we can. I'm not sure how long that's going to last, but hey, we're going to give it a shot.
That car there is on your inside. Inside. All right, now you're clear. Car there's on your inside.
Look out.
Inside.
Ryan Priest gives us a little love tap coming off the corner, and now these guys are just going to freight train all by us.
Got one down low now. Got one down low. It's inside.
Yet another reason why you got to get those stage points while you can, because you never know how the end of the race is going to go.
Hold your line. You got one inside. Hold your line. Inside. Inside. You're staying high here.
Ouch!
Careful.
Hello, Harvick.
All right,
You
let's
had
go.
plenty of room, my man.
White flag is out. Inside. Inside. All right, now you're clear.
Wow.
Got one down low now. Got one down low. Inside.
All right, so we'll manage to salvage a top 10 out of that. Oh, wish I could go back and loosen that car up so we could actually drive it. But that's part of the fun, is having to deal with what you got with limited, or in this case, zero practice. All right, so Christopher Bell gets the win, so now we know he's going on to Homestead with an opportunity. We'll see what kind of money we get. $55,000. That will certainly be helpful, along with our normal payouts. Somehow we've managed to get less money on our merchandise than normal. I'm not sure how that happened. All right, so we picked up just a few points. We picked up 3 points. We're now sitting only 1 point out. And, wow, Elliott Sadler, not a good race for him. He's only at +3 now. Okay, so we made up a little bit of ground here in Kansas. We'll move on and see what we can do in race 2 of the second round. So when we come back next time, we'll have $162,000 to spend on employee training and try to get that improvement that we were looking for in the aero. We've got the chassis improvement. Now we need to get the employee training.
Nice top 10. Every point matters.
All right, Cole Custer, not happy with us. That's perfectly fine with me. I don't think Cole Custer has ever been happy with us after any race ever. All right, then we got Matt Tift, who, isn't Matt Tift the one that cut us off coming off the corner? And I don't know. I can't remember now. It's one of those things just not that important to me. Certainly not important enough to remember all of the contact that we have during these races. But that'll do it for this time. Thank you very much for joining me. And stay tuned as we will continue our gameplay series in NASCAR Heat 3.